Hi, putting a video together today to cover the Heathkit Modulus system. And by that, Heathkit referred to not just the preamp tuner portion, which is the AN-2016, but also the AA-1505 or 1506 that were the separate power amps that accompanied these units. Both of these pieces were in pretty bad shape when I got them. I got them in separate purchases and had to go about restoring them both cosmetically as well as the electronics. So let me walk you through the operation of the unit. We'll fire it up here. This is what you get when you turn it on in phono mode. There's also a CD4 mode, some auxiliaries, tape monitor, dubbing, AM and FM. When you switch to AM, you're going to get a digital readout as well as a signal strength meter. When you switch to FM, you're going to get the digital readout as well as whether it's in stereo or not, as well as a center tuning meter and a signal strength meter. You've also got the settings for the type of setup that you have. You can run it in mono, 2, stereo, or 4. You've got SQ or 4 channel. You got tone flat, low filters, high filters, a loudness contour, FM Dolby, or squelch. This unit does not have the CD4 module, but it does have the SQ module as well as the Dolby module. Below you can see that you've got individual volume controls for left front, right front. You've got left back and right back, and then you've got bass and treble controls for the front and bass and treble controls for the back. This is the master volume, so you could set the volume individually with all these, and then this would control the master volume. So I did a lot of work on this to get all of the instrumentation lit up, as well as alignment of the tuner, and I replaced all the electrolytics inside of it. And the unit sounds terrific. The amplifier that I have accompanying this is the AA-1505, and that's the 35 watt version. There's also a 60 watt version that was available. I'm not sure how well this is going to appear for you, but I wanted to show you what it looks like in the Heathkit catalog. And if you take a look here, you'll see the AN-2016 itself, which is the tuner and the preamp, was $600 as a kit that you had to put together. The options were the CD4 module, that was 79 bucks. The Dolby module was 40 bucks, and the SQ decoder module was 50 bucks. You also had to get some, well, you didn't have to, but these accompanying amplifiers. There was a 35 watt version or a 60 watt version. You'd pay $130 for the 35 watter and $180 for the 60 watter. So the advantage of the system was obviously that you could add all of these individual components and upgrade as necessary. 4-channel was big at the time, and I don't think it really ever took off. But like I said, I'd like to use 4-channel just to drive either another set of speakers or a subwoofer off the other channels. Here's a look at the back of the unit. You've got your FM connections for the antenna. Here's the AM antenna connections. Got a couple of unswitched outlets as well as a couple of switched outlets. With the 4 channels, you've got both front and back outputs. These are the preamp out that'll take you to the power amplifier. These are front and back outputs for 4-channel for the tape, a couple of scope outputs. And then over here you've got auxiliary inputs front and back, left and right. You've got tape inputs front and back. You've got a tape monitor front and back. So all of this stuff is really discrete 4-channel if you want to use it that way. I've had 4-channel amplifiers for a long time. A couple of the first ones that came out I don't use them for 4 channels typically, or for discrete 4 channel. I use them in stereo mode, and then typically just provide the second set of channels for either another set of speakers or a subwoofer. Also over here are your phono jacks and a ground connection for that. And here's a CD4 inputs and a ground connection for that. The CD4 board was optional. This one does not have it. And you've got a phonosensitivity switch that you can put on high or low. Here's a look at the back of the output amplifier. As you can see, there's a couple of pots for volume control. There's really just 2 inputs for coming from the preamp. And you've got 4 outputs for the speaker connections, both front and back, left and right. And these are the notorious speaker terminals that a lot of people either replace or they lose these. I guess they weren't very well liked, but they just plug in here. They're hard to come by and hard to find. A lot of folks have lost those things over the years. So just to wrap things up, here's a couple of pictures of the restoration process I went through. And this shows the amplifier boards before I recapped them, and that's a finished job after they were recapped. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it's of value to you. And look at my website if you're looking for any additional ones. I posted some other stuff of Heathkit. So have a good day. Take care.